Hey, Jeff.
Hi, Ross. How are you?
How's it going?
Good to see you.
Well, Jeff, what a space. This is awesome.
Great, thank you. We've been here for about 15 years.
Okay.
We built the house, and the house has been great. Love it. One issue we do find, though, however, is that in the winter months, it seems to get really dry.
Yeah. Well, cold air is dry air. So it's notorious in cold climates where we live, where the house has air leakage, right? And so when you heat that air in this house, it's leaving, it's trying to get out through the roof. And when it's happening, cold air is coming in to try to replace that air that's being lost. Then you run bath fans and kitchen exhaust fans and things like that. You induce more infiltration. So that cold air is dry, and that's going to reduce the humidity in the space. You said you measured the humidity. What are you at right now?
Yeah, we got a sensor just to check out the various levels of interior air quality.
Sure.
And humidity is one of them, and we noticed that in the teens is where we're seeing the humidity level in the winter.
Wow, okay. So we want to keep the house between 30 and 60% year round. So in the wintertime, we're really shooting for 30 to 40%.
Sure.
So if you're in the high teens, that's definitely on the low side. So that's what's causing the static cling,
Yeah.
dry skin,
Sure.
that's for sure. So what we like to do is add a steam humidification system.
Okay.
If we can add that to the ductwork, then we can actually add moisture to the house to keep it in that 30 to 40% range. So it starts with taking a look at the heating system.
Sure, makes sense. Yeah, let's go take a look.
Let's take a look. Cool. Nice to be working in a nice high height ceiling, nice and clean down here. This looks great.
Absolutely. This is our system, Ross.
Cool. All right. So I can see the dehumidifier over here, water heater, power vented outside, and we got our gas furnace right there. All looks good. So when I'm thinking about a steam humidifier, I'm looking for a couple things. Number one, a water supply. Okay. So the first thing here, we have a water line coming right to the water heater. So any steam humidifier is going to be fine to get water to it. Second thing is drainage. So we have a tube right here. This is the condensate for the dehumidifier and for the gas furnace. We can tie into that for drainage. So we're checked there. The next thing is electrical power. I can see an electrical panel right over there. The last thing is where the steam gets introduced, and that's the steam distributor wand. And where does that get placed? So I like to mount the distributor right here on the supply plenum, but when I measure it, I can see that I have about 30 inches of space, and I'm really looking for at least 6 feet of length. That's really what I'm shooting for. So 30 inches is not gonna cut it. On top of that, I got 2 zone dampers here. These are the gates that control airflow to the upstairs. So do you know where this zone goes and where this zone goes?
I believe this zone here goes over to the, stays at the main house.
Okay.
And this one here goes over to the great room.
Okay, so the main house zone is a nice straight run of duct. It's 8 inches by 18 inches. So that's a perfect size duct for what we need. And it's got the length that we need, right? So we could put an air proofing switch, we could put the steam wand, and we could put the high limit all on this run downstream of the zone damper, and that could be a perfect place to introduce the humidity. How's that sound?
That sounds great, yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, I gotta get some equipment, but I'll be back in a little bit and we'll get started on the install.
Okay, sounds good.
Cool. All right, Jeff, so I sized up your unit. You're gonna need a unit for about 6 to 7 pounds of humidity. So that's based on the square footage of your house, the air leakage of your house, your bath fans, etc. So this unit right here that we've picked is a 10 pound per hour unit. All right, so we're covered on the humidity. And let's talk about the way it works. So first we have the water line that comes into the unit. This has got a local shutoff and it's got a shock absorber. This is a water hammer arrestor. So this, when the valve closes, you don't hear any banging of the water pipes. Okay. It also has a sensor in here to detect if there's ever a leak. The controller would detect that and it would shut this valve. So you're never gonna have to worry about water coming out of this unit and getting onto the floor, causing any damage.
Right.
The other thing we have here is a condensate drain that comes through a trap that will get drained and away. And then on top of that, we have this steam canister. So this right here, this white unit right here, has 2 electrodes in it that produce the steam. And so water will fill up, and when that water comes in contact with those hot electrodes, they're gonna make that conduction happen, and you're gonna create steam. That steam's gonna come up through this wand. So think of it like a steam kettle. Mm-hmm. And that is gonna be connected to a steam distributor. And the steam gets connected here, and it comes out through these holes. All right, so you can imagine this being in the duct, just like that. And then we have a couple safeties. For one, we have an air proofing switch. So this is a key safety element to make sure that we don't introduce steam without the blower motor active. So we need air to be moving across this for it to actually absorb the steam and put it into your duct system. We also have a high limit. This high limit is mounted 10 feet downstream to make sure that we don't put too much humidity into the duct system. And the last one is a return air humidity sensor. That will sense the humidity in the space and it will get mounted right behind the return register. All right, and so we opted for this with the controller down here, and you should be able to set it once, kind of set it and forget it. We'll set it for 35%. You can make minor adjustments up or down through that first winter. One thing we don't want to do is play with it too much and turn up too much, because if you turn up too much, you could actually have a rainforest in your house.
Oh, we don't want that.
Definitely do not want that.
Okay, as far as maintenance, anything I should be concerned with?
Yeah, so there is one big maintenance item, and that is this canister. So that canister is going to be dependent on how much humidity and how often it runs, but typically every 2 years that needs to get replaced.
Okay.
All right, so it is an easy fix though, as far as removing these electrodes and removing the high level and removing this canister and replace it with a whole new canister, because there will be a lot of mineral deposits that get caked onto the electrodes.
Okay, sounds simple.
Cool. All right, well, it's not DIY friendly to install this, so I brought in a team of contractors to help with the install, and so we're ready to get started.
Okay, fantastic. Let's
go.
Right.
This is one.
One is called
So you want red there or white? All right, Jeff, the installation's complete. So just to recap, we got the air proofing switch installed. Yeah. We got our distributor wand right here installed. We got a see-through window so you can see the steam right from here. The steam humidifier itself is mounted on the wall like we talked about. Everything's all plumbed up. We also have the wall controller right here. It's already set for 35%. So if you need to make any adjustments at all, 1 or 2 percentage points up or down at a time, no big changes in that.
Sure.
But it should be ready to go for next winter.
Fantastic. Looks great, Ross. Thanks so much for your help.
All right.
Look forward to having a good winter.
All righty. Nice and moist. See ya.
Yeah, take care.
Thanks for watching. This Old House has got a video for just about every home improvement project, so be sure to check out the others. And if you like what you see, click on the subscribe button to make sure that you get our newest videos right in your feed.